All right. Governor Walz announced he wasn't running for election. We still don't know if Klobuchar's going to run, but it looks like she may well. There's some punditry and commentary about, uh, again, raising the question of the judgment of Kamala Harris for picking this guy. And we talked about this on Two Way Tonight last night, which is how could the press have not talked more about this story in the context of Walz being picked? Eric, going forward, what are the what's an implication you see of Walz not running for national politics, if any?
I do think it comes back to Kamala Harris's bid in 2028. Behind the scenes, Democrats are going to have to second guess her political acumen. If that's her first big pick and she made it the big deal that this was going to be her pick and go with her gut. But also, I got to just scratch my itch on this one and say that for the last multiple days, we've been treated to nonstop stories of who Nick Shirley is and how there's no there, and yet there's no there that took out the governor from running for reelection. Maybe the National Press Corps could show a little more curiosity about the scandal.
Yeah. Kevin, what implications do you see?
Listen, I'm just a big believer on if you're a mayor or a governor and you have the ability to run for a third term, you shouldn't. There's been no real successful third terms in American history when it comes to big city mayors or governors. People get tired of you after 12 years. And, I do think to your point, Mark, that Klobo is going to get in and run for governor and be, a two-year governor from a Midwestern state, turn the state around politically because of this. Maybe capture a House seat or two, and then is looking really sharp to be a vice presidential contender. Because there's nothing that is not political in terms of what Amy Klobuchar thinks through in terms of her next step. So I think we'll be done talking about Tim Walz for a long time. But to Eric's point, it will come back to haunt Kamala Harris down the road. That this was her one decision. She was so dead set against Josh Shapiro, who was my guy, that she went in this direction, and it was a failed choice.
Yeah.
They say that something that's easy is like a walk in the park. Well, easier than a walk in the park, hit the subscribe button, be part of the Two Way community, never miss an episode, be part of our conversations. Thank you for your service to America.
And don't forget, you can now listen to the morning meeting and Two Way Tonight on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.